up, lab number 5? My name is Jay, your host, and today we have the Chris ID Jeter with us. So we're gonna play a little bit of pool. You ready?
I'm ready. Peace, everybody.
All right, man. Hey, look, we're really excited to have you on the show, and I know we had a little bit hiccup, but life happens, and we've just been looking forward to you. Like, we've been talking about Chris ID Jeter since we started. So you kind of the person who is kicking it off for us. So, go ahead and tell us a little bit about you. Who is Chris ID Jeter? Like, where are you from?
So, again, my name is Chris ID Jeter. ID stands for Intelligent Design. And I'm from Newport News, Virginia, but I've been living here in Richmond for a few years. I grew up playing tennis, writing music, playing jazz music, listening to jazz music, and really about hip hop, learning about hip hop. Music has always been like something that's like been instrumental and pivotal for like my development as a youngin. So those are a lot of things. Like if you know me, you know I'm tennis, you know I'm music, for sure. And you know I'm from Newport News, I'm from the 757. So
all right. Yeah, we got a real versatile man right here, very well rounded. He's a fire tennis player. You know, obviously he's a good pool player. We're gonna find out. That's what's up. So, what kind of artists like inspired you to make music? What were your biggest motivators?
Definitely John Coltrane. Learning about his story and some things that, you know, how he utilized his spirituality in terms of creating is just like fire to me. For sure. Definitely Jay-Z and Nas, like Reasonable Doubt and Illmatic are some of my favorite albums growing up. Lupe Fiasco, Kanye West. And then also too, like learning about jazz as a genre.
Right.
Playing in the jazz band that I played, we would play the standards, and so we would play people like Charlie Parker and Thelonious Monk and all these cats that were super pivotal into. Oh man, that's crazy. Super pivotal. It went in.
Hey, look, I told you he's naturally gifted.
But you know what I mean. So those guys like that. Yeah. It really, you know, that really inspired me because these are all black men who were trailblazers in the music space, you know? Right. So, just like, very inspired by a mixture of like hip hop and jazz artists.
For sure. Okay, cool. I remember when we first met you, we met you at the Word of Mouth event. Shout out Word of Mouth. We shout them out a lot because that's where the talent is, it seems. But when I first met you at the Word of Mouth, we were talking about just kind of all of those artists that inspired you, all of those artists that kind of shaped your sound, shaped kind of like where you're coming from, and we can definitely see that in like your music, and even in your documentary series. We're talking about, if you haven't checked out his documentary series, definitely check it out. Yeah. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Check it out. But in those documentary series, we noticed that there was a lot of talk about just like that jazzy background, that like hip hop 90s inspiration. So that's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you said you were a jazz band. I was in jazz band too.
For real?
Yeah.
What, like middle school, high school?
Oh man, middle school. But it was like a lot of squeaking when I was.
So I'm guessing you played the saxophone.
I played the saxophone.
Yes,
That's how you know. He didn't even have to. He already knew what I played. So am I sure?
Nah, it's still on me.
Oh, it's still on you?
I'm still killing it.
Yeah. Nah. He's in his zone. But yeah, what kind of? So are you instrumentalist?
Nah, I'm not. I stopped playing around like middle school. I mean, not middle school, high school. Okay. Towards the end of high school, it was like this decision between music and tennis. For sure. Because I had the opportunity to get a scholarship to play tennis in college. Okay. And I chose tennis because I wanted to play collegiate athletics. I played on the D2 level, but it was still an amazing experience. Yeah. And so I kind of let music down, but I was still writing. So I just put the instrument down. Okay. It's kind of been down.
Right. So you're an instrumentalist, just with the pen.
Yeah. Yeah, my voice is my.
There you go. Hey man, people don't believe in that, but when you have people like Beyonce, or you got people like Bruno Mars, like the voice really truly is an instrument.
It is.
But bigger, I scratch my heart. The biggest instrument really is the imagination.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I'm gonna put that one on my fridge.
I like that. The imagination is the instrument. That's crazy because I was reading Will Smith's book. I've been listening to the audio book. It talks about like his ability to be, to have a great imagination and to have like a great imagination so that he can create different fantasies, you know what I mean, in his mind and like really believe them. And like that's how he became a really good rapper, because he's like, yo, he envisioned himself in that space. And he worked really hard to get there. So like, shout out to Will Smith, man.
Shout out to
Will Smith. Yeah. Come on down here, baby.
Ooh. Well, you did set me up though. I thank you. Let's see, I'm really keep like knocking from
There you go.
Nope.
I'll give it back to you. I appreciate it. You got it.
What kind of, how did your journey lead you from the 7-5?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I was in the 7-5 and I was working with kids at a local school in Newport News, and I ended up moving to Maryland for another position. I wanted to get out of the schools and really work with real estate. I was in real estate at the time. Right. So I moved up there to do that for a couple years, but then I ended up coming back to VCU to get my master's in counselor education. So I furthered my studies in Richmond, but I've always had roots in Richmond. My sister went to Virginia Union. She lived in Richmond for like 17 years. And I would always come up in middle school, at high school, spring break, Christmas break. I can really be here in the city and fell in love. And I've always wanted to move to Richmond. I just didn't move here as soon as I thought. I had to go through what life had for me to get back to Richmond. But when I got here, it was the perfect time, the perfect space. And yeah, man, I've been here ever since.
Yeah. That's a beautiful example of things happen for a reason.
Facts.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we did note that you work with a lot of kids, and you see posting about kids and the community and everything. So we can tell that you're heavily invested in your community.
Yeah.
And that's just like a beautiful thing when an artist is heavily invested in just like teaching those kids. So definitely preach on just your influence on those kids, because I know a lot of them probably had to come to you. And they might not have vocalized that. Because I used to work with kids when I was in college in my organization, and so sometimes kids don't always tell you what you're thinking. So how do kids kind of gravitate towards you? You seem to have that natural.
Man, yo, thank you. That's a very interesting question. So I kind of had an advantage because the kids that I worked with in Newport News went to the same school that I went to, so I kind of had that leeway in there of like, I have an understanding of what it means to be from this part of town, have an advantage in understanding over some other teachers of, what it means to grow up through the school and this program. So that was kind of like my leeway in, but also too, I think meditation, mindfulness, and all of those like experiences that I've learned over time gave me the ability to like really be empathetic, really understand where students are coming from. Whereas you have teachers that come into a space that like, they demand what it is that they want in the classroom. And I'm not a teacher, I'm a school counselor, and also have been like taught tennis, but my approach has always been like the pedagogy of curiosity. So it's like, I'm coming into the classroom to learn as well as you are coming in to learn, right? I can learn from you in the same way that you learn from me. So the curiosity comes in to place not only in the things that I'm teaching you from there, but for me it's like, what is it that makes me upset as a student, right? How can I do better at connecting to the student? Or what does, what are the students, what methods that I'm using are students easily able to grasp? So like just bringing curiosity into the classroom, like really helping. And I didn't know that's what I was doing until like later when I, discovered mindfulness and yoga and all those things, those self-reflective, contemplative practices. And so for me, but that was how I always approached working with kids. It was just like, yo, you have a story that I can learn from. Like, who are you? Where do you come from? Like, what is it that I can do to support you? Always had that love, Most people come into the school and the classrooms, I need that check. Check is important, but it's also too like you have people on the other end that are trying to receive knowledge, wisdom, understanding, so that they can grow and be the best people they can be in life. So
that's that's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you kind of create like an open environment for them,
Mm-hmm.
but like you said, you learn from them. You're not just teaching them. So man, you're like a life coach for this.
Oh man,
That's really cool.
thank you.
Yeah, like I guess from my experience, my aunt, she teaches at the Richmond Tech Center.
Oh, dope.
I used to always come in there and like just like watch her interact with the kids. And she's kind of the same way. She's not like I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna be the boss lady.
Yeah,
I'm gonna teach you life. I'm gonna teach you how to Yeah, and it's just like those interactions, talking with them, getting to know them.
Right.
So I can definitely see how that translates.
Yeah, thank you though.
You ever have kids like come up to any of your events or anything?
So like having worked with kids for such a long time, like I do have like mentees that I've had in the past that like check out my stuff, but not to any of my shows yet. But I'm still building that thing, that space in my life, like performing and stuff like that. So
That would be cool.
But yeah, they're listening though, and so I keep that in mind, as I create, like who's listening, because like you said, the voice is an instrument and it's such a powerful tool. For sure. Like I want to make sure that I'm saying some things that like really uplift, and really have the ability to like, make change in the world, So that's why I approach music the way that I do.
Wow. So music is not only an instrument. The voice isn't only an instrument. There's also a skill. That's very powerful. And that's really, I find that really cool that you take that. Ooh. You almost, I saw you lead it. Let's go with it.
I've been going crazy over here.
I know, man. I'm over here hitting duds. But yeah, man, that's really cool that you take that into consideration when you are creating.
Thank you.
Because music does have a lot of influence on a lot of people. Probably more than a lot of these artists realize, no matter how big or small you are. I'd rather say no matter how well-known or not well-known you are, no matter how big your platform is, of course it's right. You're always going to reach people.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. So that's really dope.
Thank you.
Yeah. Man, I should have said take it easy on me.
Hey, look, I think it's because the camera's on, yo. I never shoot this well.
Sweating a little bit. They say don't get competitive with we're just out here having fun, but like now I'm like, man, I'm making myself look bad.
Come on, Jay, you got it, bro.
Let's see, I got it.
But yeah, no, I definitely want to say thank you to Lab for having me, man. Y'all are really getting like dope artists and amazing artists here locally. Y'all are giving them a platform and getting them the opportunity to do things like this. You know what I'm saying? And so, like that's commendable and admirable. And to know like y'all are working hard at your craft. Like I'm eager to see like how this grows.
Right.
Like from the pool tables in the space that we're in to, wherever y'all go with it. Like, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And you're always welcome back, bro. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just hit us up and be like, hey, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? You want to do another interview? Yeah, we'll make that time. Let's get it. Cool. Let me see what I can do.
I don't think I'm gonna get what I really want, but we'll try.
I don't think that's what you want.
That one what I want.
Yeah, man. So one thing that we really wanted to talk about, man, was we both got a chance to look at your documentary series, and it was really cool. It was really dope seeing you just bringing different people from your life, so you get to see kind of like different parts of Chris in a way. But you also got to hear their story. Definitely want to hear more about your documentary, and just kind of like what that was like creating.
Oh man, yo, so the whole idea came because we were recording the project. We were recording the project, and it was such a meaningful thing. Like each studio session, like really became almost something of like a yoga class or a meditation class, because people were there reflecting, being reflective, and really experiencing everything that was happening in the music, right? But also too, what was happening in the studio influenced what happened on the song. And so like just hearing the stories of people, you know, like really had me like, yo, we need to get this on camera, like, and then realizing that the people that I wanted to incorporate in the songs or on the songs had stories of their own, and we've had experiences together, and so it was like, yo, these things that we see on the screen are what got me to the point of creating this. It took a lot of going through fear, you know, because it's like, who am I as an artist? You know, like, do people even want to hear what I have to say? Do people want to see me on the screen? Like, and what validates me to create a documentary? I'm not a filmmaker, or I'm not a rapper, like, I'm not a singer, you know? And so, when in essence, we understand that our voice is an instrument, and understanding that it's all self-expression, why can't I? You know, and that when you change your mindset to understand that, right? Like, this is an expression of who I am and what I've been through as a person. Right. Why can't I? Yeah. For sure. Right? And there's gonna be somebody that resonates with it. Yeah. And so there was this process of fear that I had to move through to accept that I am a writer, I'm a creator, and I want to do this thing. Yeah. And that highlighting other people's stories that influenced me. Was the real reason why I did it, and how it came about.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Because I definitely, when you start talking about just like the origins of R&B, you know, just back in like middle school and through high school, just how that kind of changed for you. You know, you can definitely see evidence of you just breaking down those barriers that society kind of put into place. Right. And so yeah, like I really enjoyed that because definitely, you know, everybody struggles with identity, and sometimes that's something that people need to hear. Yeah. And so I really like the movement, man. ID is a movement. So, not just a name, it's a movement. Yeah. So definitely get hip.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what's up. I can't remember whose turn it is.
I think it's you. I think I missed it last.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see a lot of solids, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the music portion. So we created something very special for you.
Yeah.
We think you're gonna like it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So what's gonna happen next is we're just going to do a short little interview, learn a little bit more about you on the couch, and you're gonna spit some. You can either write it, you can freestyle off the dome, whatever you want to do. But you got 15 minutes. At most, all right? 15 minutes.
Let's get it.
All right. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all. At all. All right, let's do it. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, for sure. All right, before we get into the music portion, definitely give out any shout outs that you want to give out, and also tell us about any upcoming projects that you have.
Yeah, so upcoming projects, there's a lot of music I'm working on. I'm writing and collecting beats and all that stuff as we speak, but nothing I'm ready to, share out right now. But you can still watch the documentary Identity, Journey Towards Free at tinyurl.com/watchthedoc, WATCHTHEDOC, as well as you can still stream Identity, Return of the Free on all of the streaming platforms. Follow me on Instagram, ID_Jeter. But also I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff in the mindfulness and yoga space, so I have a lot of performances coming up. But I want to shout out Dr. Travis at Texas State University and Dr. Ian Levy at Manhattan College. They have me coming in a few weeks to be a part of their hip hop camp.
That's dope.
Yeah, and so they have a lot of young students in high school that are creating mixtapes, creating their own beats. And so using hip hop, like they're unleashing the healing power of hip hop. And so they're bringing me in to do some centering exercises and mindfulness exercises with the students every morning. So that's something that I'm working on, as well as a bunch of performances. Floyd Yoga Jam, I'll be out there in September with 2 sets. What else, man? Just a bunch of shows. I'm trying to get people hip to Return of the Free and all of the music that I create. And yeah, so shout out to everybody. Shout out to Floyd Yoga Jam. Shout out to the professors. Shout out to my family. Shout out to my lady. And all of that, yo. Shout out to the CAN too, the Contemporary Arts Network. This is getting long, but I love everybody that I work with. The Contemporary Arts Network. In a few weeks, you'll see on my page, I'll be posting about an event that they're having, Self-Realization Sundays. They have me hosting it. I'll be teaching some yoga as well as performing some of my songs. And yeah, we're gonna have a group together healing. So
Word.
yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah.
Hey, look, it takes a village to raise a kid.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But it's the same thing. It takes a village to raise an artist, and vice versa as well.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So if y'all haven't already, definitely give Chris ID Jeter a follow on Instagram.
Actually, you in Vegas next week?
Yeah, I'm in Vegas next week. I was trying to keep that on the low.
Oh,
Because it's also it's a So Far Sound is a platform that is like not really confidential, but like they like to keep their stuff on the low.
As far as release this until probably after anyway.
Oh, facts. Yeah, I'm gonna be out in Vegas. I'm gonna be out in Vegas next week performing at So Far Sound. Shout out to those people out there. Thank you.
That's what's up. This is where you show off. You know what I'm saying? Let people know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I know you be doing a lot of things behind the community, but this is for you to show off and let people see, like, I'm out here.
Thank you. Last shout out then. Shout out to Iron Village Preparatory Academy, yo. They had me there as a mindfulness instructor as well, working with students. There is all black and brown students in there in the process of creating a school, and that school will be up and running in the next 2 years. This is my second summer with them teaching the kids yoga. They also have me as a teacher assistant out there, so I'm somebody's teacher, but also yoga and mindfulness instructor too. So shout out to the fam over there, man. I love those people.
Hey man, this man is busy with a capital Z, but in a fantastic way, man. So if you haven't given him a follow yet, definitely give him a follow. Say your Instagram one more time.
ID_Jeter.
All right, word. And definitely give him a follow and check out his documentary and his music streaming on his platforms. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get right into the music portion. Like I said, you got 15 minutes to make sound. You can, but if you want, it can be off your dome.
This is where I'm going to just jump in real quick. So, Chris, I made this beat this morning.
Thank you.
Listening to your music, going through your Instagrams and socials. I was stalking you just a little bit, trying to catch a vibe, trying to see like what should I make, and so I try to, like I told you earlier, try to make it a little spiritual because I know you're very mindful. I'm very tapped in with nature and everything. So I was like, all right, let me get this. So yeah,
let's do it.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
You got 15 minutes.
I'm gonna get my
pen and paper.
Go
ahead, get your pen and paper.
Nervous now.
No need to be nervous, man. Very low pressure.
Let's get
low
it.
stakes.
Let's get it.
All right. Is this a good volume?
We'll find out.
Where's your?
I just use the phone. I turn it all the way down first, man.
Sounds like surfing for real, like surfing the waves of life, like that's where I'm going. Hey. Yeah. I love what this like evokes. Like usually I like write, you know what I mean, a couple of lines and like I repeat and repeat and repeat, and that's how I commit to memory. Cause like I've said like the first 2 lines of the song so many times that like it's in my mind now. But yeah, I really like this joint, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about who I am, you know, and in these 6 lines that I just wrote. They're like really powerful and really impactful. And I feel like it can continue to go, but I feel like this is all I really need to say right now. So it may take me a couple times to get it right, but let me say it.
Do what you feel, man. That's the whole purpose of this.
Yeah.
It's like doing what's in the moment.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Let me hear it.
Let's get it.
Surfing the waves of life, I'm conscious of the boredom supply. In my eyes, the fire, I'm a lion, and I ain't dying till I. Hold up, let me catch it one more time. Surfing the waves, I'm conscious of the boredom supplied. In my eyes, the fire, I'm a lion, and I ain't dying till I share the sun. I'm a son, brother, lover, nephew of some of the greats, and I'm inspired by the greatest that ever do it. I'm fluent in the wisdom, I'm candid with words, and I observe the trees as they sway because they tell me the secrets. I'm gonna run that back. I feel it.
I can feel the emotion.
Surfing the waves, I'm conscious of the boredom supplied to my eyes.
There's a lot of emotion.
Surfing the waves, I'm conscious of the boredom supplied. I think I need to slow that down. It's okay to make mistakes, people. Surfing the waves, I'm conscious of the boredom supplied. In my eyes, the fire, I'm a lion, and I ain't dying till I shed the sun. I'm the son, brother, lover. Yeah, this is a poem. Let me get this as a poem. Here we go. Yo, surfing the waves, I'm conscious of the boredom supply. In my eyes, the fire, I'm a lion, and I ain't dying till I share the sun. I'm the son, brother, lover, nephew of greats, and I'm inspired by the greatest to ever do it. I'm fluent in wisdom, and I'm candid with words, and observe the trees as they sway because they tell me the secrets. Better believe it. Inspired by the prophets like Jesus. See me. You ain't gotta be me, be you. Be true to everything that you do. I'm spitting off of the top right now. This is love. This is everything that I've been given. Now, it's time to let you know that I'm here to do it better than anybody else has ever done it. But this ain't competition, this is collaboration. I'm inspired by John Coltrane and Charlie Parker playing the saxophone. Dreams I see, and I know they will come to be. Dreams I see, and I know they will come to be. Dreams I see, and I know they will come to be. And I'm gonna end right there, because dreams I see, and I know they will come to be. Please know. Thank you.
That's what's up. We're gonna give it up. We're gonna give it up for Chris, man. It's funny how something just turns into something totally different, but even more beautiful. I just watched it transform.
Yeah.
So I'm unified.
That's crazy. I usually don't even get into these, but I was like, I had to get in on this one. I had to get on this one, bro. That was
Thank you.
Just watching your process. That's what I love the most about doing this, is watching the artist's process to like create. Like Koya, for example, she was like, "What are y'all feeling right now?" And then she went off that, like, "What does this song make you feel?" And we was all like, "Love." She's like,
there you go, right there.
Yeah. And then you right now, as soon as you felt it, you was like, "Oh, I feel where this is. I feel this," you know. And then you was like, okay, you was trying to rap it. And you was like, "This is a poem." And then because I was over there like, "That's a poem," and I wasn't gonna say nothing, you know what I'm saying? But your journey to discovering like, okay, wait, let me switch this up, let me change this, and go like, you know, it's hard to make mistakes. You learn.
Yeah, right.
That's the best learning experience right there. So I was just like, oh yeah, that was hot.
Right.
That was fine.
Thank you.
And I was channeling my. I feel like I was channeling my inner Robert Glasper on there. You know, he always loves. He always loves, you know, some spoken word on there. So
yes,
I was like, I felt like, oh yeah, I accomplished that. we made that happen.
Yeah, we need to connect on that.
Oh, yeah,
because that definitely like so when I say like usually my process is really like, you know, I'm listening to the beat, I put it in my headphones, I meditate to it, and like the word, like I write down words that I feel, you know, or that, you know, that have come to me in meditation, and then like I'll write. It generally, sometimes it does take me like a couple days to finish a song. Sometimes it like I feel it and it's going, and it's coming like. But here, like in comparison to all of my other pages, like I didn't scratch nothing out. You know what I mean? Usually I'm scratching out because it's like whatever. You see all these scratches on this and on that. Like I'm generally scratching out because it's like, nah, I'm gonna go this direction. Or I'm gonna go that direction. But the beat like really brought, you know, that like this is who I am. You know, like surfing the waves of life. Like and that whole experience of surfing the waves of life. But to be a skilled surfer, you have to know what you're doing, right? Like you gotta have both feet planted on that board and understand, you know, what the board is there to do and what you're there to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So each thing has a job. And so that's why I'm like, yo, I know, you know, like I appreciate the board that I was supplied, you know, this body that I have, right? But also too, there's something within this board of a body, and that's the spirit that's like really trying to shine through. And so like that's what I felt and experienced, like listening to that beat. It was like, I'm a lion, I'm a Leo, like I'm a father, I mean not father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a, you know what I mean, lover of some of the greatest people here in the world that I know. And so like I felt it. So all that I had to say, like I really felt it. And so I'm just like, and I was nervous that I wasn't even gonna be able to have nothing to write, because sometimes it does take me to really feel something to like to go.
It's
but
a process.
I felt that.
It's a process.
I felt
and
that.
I appreciate it. I'm glad that's what I'm always nervous about, that I create something and they like, this whack. You know what I'm saying? This whack. I don't want to write to this. I can't with that Michael Black, I can't get jiggy with this. I can't get jiggy with this. But I love that, you know, he was able to evoke emotion, because I was, like I said, listening to your album, like listening to Water, like I was playing that joint over, and I'm like, believe in this. You know, I'm playing the running, I'm playing all those joints. I'm like, I'm feeling spiritual right now, and I gotta get this out. And so I'm glad that we connected, even like from separate rooms, like I'm in a completely different space, but we still connected in this moment. So that was dope. All right, y'all, make sure y'all check out Chris ID Jeter. Follow him on everything.
Please.
Check out his music, his album. You will not be disappointed. You will not, I promise you. Meditate to it, listen to it, get into some mindfulness. If you need a coach, he's here for you.
Yeah, like that's on the way too. Like, that's on the way too. Look at these brothers, man. They know exactly what I'm gonna say before I say
We're gonna put you on, man. We're gonna put you on. Shout out to Jay for hosting. As
thank
always,
you, Jay.
getting spanked in some pool, being so kind.
I got practice now, man. I wasn't being kind. I was
man,
slack.
shout out to Lab Number 5, man. These brothers really get into it, doing it, and doing some amazing things, yo. So make sure you stay tapped into all of the things that they're doing too.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got more things to come soon.
And if you like this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. You know, talk about how that beat made you feel, and just talk about how great Chris ID Jeter really is to you, how it brought out something in you. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe,
and
drop
share.
a comment, and
share with your
this video.
friends.
Please.
All right, we out. Peace.